What's goody, folks? Welcome back to the desk here for our final day of European action here for the placement round, at least. We've got an interesting fall split. It's 4 weeks of placement rounds where all teams are jockeying for position on the standings. Their wins will earn them points. And as we take a look, we saw Energy just dropped a game to Cyclone, which is actually a little surprising to a lot of fans at home. But because of their loss there, they've solidified their spot at number 2.
It's really all about the momentum in this last day of Europe. You're trying to get the ball rolling, heading into LAN right now. It's going to be Fantastique against Sanguine. If Fantastique managed to get a win here, and if their opponent's Cringe Crew get only one more point, they have that head-to-head record, which would put them at 5th over 6th seed.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting spot. Of course, all these teams trying to make their way to Worlds. You can go too as well. hi-rezexpo.com. Get yourself your own ticket. You don't really have to compete in anything. Just buy the damn ticket, and you can join us here. You can also party up either at hi-rez expo or online. But if you do so online, you'll wind up getting some extra stuff. Double experience, double worship is double favor when playing in a party of 2+ between the 16th and the 18th. And if you want to look and sound dope while doing it, 50% off all Chinese skins and voice packs. Hook up your Chang'e, hook up your Jungle Kibo, shouts to Lionheart, and your support Sun Wukong, shouts to Trix Tank. So a lot of different fun stuff you can do back at home.
You want to party up after this game?
No.
You don't want more favor?
I do.
I don't have enough favor.
I'm playing with Hinduman and Aggro. We got a full party, sorry. Anyway. Maybe I'll let you play a little bit later.
How about some Xingchen Mountain?
All right, we'll group up and do that.
Okay.
Anyway, we've got some Pro League games on the docket today. Fantastique taking on Sanguine. Last time around when we watched Cyclone versus Energy, I think there was a pretty cut and dry. Energy's the upper card team, Cyclone's the bottom card team, and we got a fun little split out of it, believe it or not. This time for this matchup, I think Sanguine and Fantastique are very, very even.
They're pretty close right now. Fantastique with 4, Sanguine with 2. We saw that Fantastique, they found a win against Cringe Crew, they split against Cyclone, whereas Sanguine, they only found their split against Cringe Crew and Cyclone themselves. So a little bit of more struggling on the side of Sanguine. So whoever, if there's one of these teams that finds the 2 wins here,
sure, that
should skyrocket them heading into LAN.
I think if any team is going to wind up with double wins, like you said, it might be Fantastique. I'm expecting a very even set here, but Fantastique have flourished a little bit in the recent weeks. Even when they wind up with a loss, they seem a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more confident in their play. Keep in mind, it's 3 players that have really played a lot together, plus Jiffy, now known as WorldEdit, and then a brand new rookie, nulisa. So I think these guys have really, specifically looking at the jungle mid synergy for Fantastique, I've liked how the synergy has built out. On the side of Sanguine, I'm looking a lot at Cherryo. Cherryo, again, the jungle mid synergy, Cherryo and Dodo. Cherryo specifically has really stepped it up, as usual.
We saw him in Super Regionals, the way he stepped it up, playing for London Conspiracy back then as a jungler. He's been making some role swaps between mid, but now he's back to jungle, so we'll see how he'll transition this into this set and then into the LAN stages.
Yeah, I'm curious how it's going to work out. Everybody winds up coming to LAN, which is going to be a really big deal for some of these teams. When you look at these 2 rosters, Fantastique versus Sanguine, nobody on Fantastique has been to LAN just yet. nulisa has come as a sub and as a just sort of friend, but not really as a player. And then Sanguine on the other side, Cherryo has LAN experience, Murrdurr has a lot of LAN experience, and the other 3 haven't really seen that. So that'll be an issue coming up in the future. But for now, Raijin and Nemesis, banned out by Fantastique. They are a little bit scared of that mid lane, and Nemesis is just very strong. Sanguine opt for the Terra ban, and the Arlong Shen. Now Kuang going to be first pick for WorldEdit, but talk to me about the Arlong Shen ban.
I like this ban because for MoGoW specifically, he'll probably end up playing that in the solo lane. You don't want to have too many options available for Fantastique because now with their strategy, they left Kuang and Susano open, knowing that it's WorldEdit. He prefers that Kuang. He likes the magical damage instead. He'll try to rotate with nulisa, making those early game plays. So I expect an early game pressure mid laner for nulisa, preferably the Isis.
It should work. We've seen her play the Isis a number of times. Anhur and Susano. Sanguine going to snatch up that Susano for Cherryo. Love that choice. Janus will be the selection for Fantastique, and I really like this a little bit more. So a lot of times when we talk about jungle mid synergy, we talk about the ability for the jungler to set up the middle laner. Fantastique actually kind of do it a little bit the opposite. A lot of times nulisa spends her time helping out WorldEdit achieve what he wants to do. Playing on the Kuang, he's going to be very aggressive, and the Janus will help him if we see him very deep in the enemy jungle. nulisa can provide him some safety.
It's all about that safety net, like you mentioned. Get out of jail free card for those portals, the threshold through space and time. That's the goal. Allow WorldEdit to do what he does best. And he loves to play aggressive, so that synergizes very well. Picking up the Fafnir for Fantastique.
Sanguine ban out the Freya here, and I think this is a curious ban. I'm using curious as a euphemism here. You've already got 3 magical damage dealers on Fantastique, specifically without Kuang in the jungle, so you're looking for a traditional hunter and a regular old solo laner to really even things out. I guess my question is, how bad is it really to have 4 magical people? Is it as bad as it seems?
It depends at what phase of the game you are. It hurts a lot in the mid game when the magical defense items come online, but in the late game, once you get the penetration and all that good jazz, you get the Rod Tahooties, the Soul Reavers, then the magical will start outweighing the magic defense that you can accumulate.
So do you think Freya was a valid option here for Fantastique to select?
It would have been good, and that's why they also banned Chronos. There's the Soul option for them if they wanted to go with, but they're going to go with the Ram. It still has that good steroid with his second ability, and synergizing with Fafnir is pretty good for the Kuang.
It'll work out perfectly, and plus, I mean, you're talking about the Bruise brothers here, Jermain and Dardez. Jermain is one of the better Rams, I think, in Europe, you know, despite the fact that his team hasn't really found a lot of wins. Jermain's Ram has been one of the lights when you watch this team. He's a lot of fun to watch, so we'll see the Ram pair up with the Fafnir. Odin will be the solo lane of choice, and Kuang and Janus will be the mid-jungle synergy. For Sanguine, though, we've got early game out of the Isis, and honestly the Susano. Isis and Susano provide a lot of pressure in the early mid game.
And that's what you really want to do against an Kuang Janus. Don't allow them to get to that mid to late game phase. Kuang will carry with his damage, and then Janus will carry with his mobility. So you're really trying to figure out a way to get those early kills, especially against a Janus that doesn't have Vampiric Shroud. There's a lot of kill potential for Cherryo and Dodo.
It really is. I'm laughing a little bit along with Jermain. That's really been one of his calling cards, I think, is the Ram laugh. Jermain has always been one of the league's most confident players with a history of this Fantastique squadron. The core, or the outside core, I guess, MoGoW, Dardez, and Jermain. There are 3 French players that have played primarily on a squad called Les Myrmidons, and they've been in the Pro League and then get relegated out. Then they come back into the Pro League and they get relegated out. This is pretty much the 3rd iteration of that team with a different jungle and mid this time around. And Jermain, the entire time, has always been very confident, almost cocky to a point, and enjoyably so. I like watching his playstyle.
To his credit, he stole a Fire Giant with a Rama snipe, which he should have died for, having 1% health. And then he stole a Gold Fury with a basic in-hand.
And while he does it,
he laughs.
He laughs, and like that's the style. That's the style of Jermain. If you guys missed it, you can definitely check it out on esports.smygame.com or some of our VODs on the YouTube channel. Jermain goes ahead and steals the Fire Giant with the first shot of his Ram ult, and then for the remainder of the ultimate, just spams left and then rolls away. It was absolutely fantastic.
Which is always nice to have that humor inside the game. It takes a lot of the tension away from the actual competitive aspect, which helps you focus a little bit more about the bigger picture.
I mean, you're an ex-pro player. There's a lot to be said about people that enjoy playing the game. It sounds like a really small thing, but enjoying the game while playing on this high level is not, they don't always go hand in hand.
The grind is real, and if you can find anything that's a little bit more refreshing, it doesn't matter what game you're playing competitively, you have to figure out ways to still have that motivation to keep on going.
And classic Bruise brothers getting very, very aggressive early on. You can see Murrdurr taking a ton of damage on his signature Ares, also dealing out a little bit here, but damage definitely favoring Fantastique, hurting Murrdurr a little bit more.
I like the fact that the meditation was popped very early in laning phase. They're going to have it available around level 5 or so, and the fact that Murrdurr has to go into Blink makes it really difficult for him in these team fights. If his Blink engages aren't on point, Fantastique can easily capitalize.
And Fantastique going to try and keep him in combat as well. You can see the basics and every sort of smack coming through from Fantastique, making sure that that Blink doesn't catch their dual lane off guard, while still providing a decent amount of poke and maintaining decent struggle over this lane. They're not just relinquishing control to the Anhur.
WorldEdit doing a good job so far, invading these back left Harpies by himself, exploiting the fact that the rest of Sanguine opted to go for their own back rights.
And that's the aggression that we were talking about. WorldEdit going to make these plays. nulisa is there to bail him out if need be. She goes ahead and takes the back Harpies by herself, and that's exciting because not only are you stripping the back Harpies away from the enemy, but but also you're splitting yourselves up and getting individual farm instead of sharing it. Nulisa's level 5, Dodo's still has yet to hit it.
And yeah, that's going to allow the side lanes to have to worry about that ultimate from Nulisa through space and time being paired up with this Kuang. They could find some early kills, especially even on this Sun Wukong. If MoGoW can force out that ultimate, that's going to be an easy cleanup kill for WorldEdit.
That's a big if, though. It's going to have to take a lot of work on the side of this Odin to bring the Sun Wukong down to death's door to really start out that ultimate. So we'll see how aggressive MoGoW wants to be. Right side, though, heavy Sanguine pressure. As a lot of players shade over here, mid and jungle, collect the fire elementals, but it's an all-in for the guys on Fantastique. Nulisa drops the ultimate. There's the Odin. Couple more swings will do it. And MoGoW gets the first blood before the Isis pops. Great knockup coming from the jungler. MoGoW seems to be in trouble from Cherryo. He gets the kill as the return is good. Sanguine even things up 1-1.
But on the left-hand side, Murrdurr just now hitting level 5, and it's going to pull out Dardez at least, and now the Desert Fury not going to find the kill.
Knockup is not going to be found. Great ultimate out of Dardez to immune all of that nonsense. Stun turns around. Up in the sky goes Jermain. 1 goes down, 2 goes down. Double kill for Jermain.
So unfortunate for Sanguine. They hit level 5 first, but then Fantastique were able to kill just a few more minutes and made the complete turnaround play. And now it's getting their speed buff invaded. Despite Fantastique finding that first blood, the trade from Sanguine was pretty good, finding the return kill and the speed buff invade, but finding those 2 deaths on left really struggles.
Nika takes a big chunk out of the MoGoW jump, but Fantastique up pretty much just a raw 500 from that first blood, but love the play out of the dual lane.
So the reason why they made that aggressive play with the Janus Kuang is because they backed first. They were able to get their power spikes online. They have boots too for Nulisa. They had shoes to the Magi for that little gank invade, and the timing of it was pretty well because if they got those kills, they could have looked for the speed and blue buff invade, and they found the early kill onto Dodo with a nice rotation from MoGoW. The ultimate prevented the heal from Circle of Protection, but the Typhoon from Cherryo was just so great for the counter engage.
And what I liked there, Fantastique in 2 different plays. They make the intelligence play off of the power spike on the right side, and then they make just the raw I'm going for it, I'm better than you play on the left side. Dardez with the perfect ultimate, the immunity frames that the Dragon gives you by ulting, and then the turnaround play. And here's Jermain getting aggressed on, but it's all just a bait. WorldEdit shows up, doesn't even pop the ultimate. Jermain trusts in his jungler and actually earns a kill for himself. 3 kills already for the Frenchman in the long lane.
That's what you need to do as an Kuang. Exploit any aggressive side lane, whether it's solo or the dual lane. Arkkyl against Jermain. Both of these players are very aggressive, especially with Arkkyl playing this on her. And now as a result, Jermain with a 2-level lead is still sitting on the red buff.
I mean, Arkkyl, it was funny because Dardez and Jermain, like I said, they're always going to be aggressive. You're playing into Ares on her. This is one of the more aggressive lanes. And you're a Rom. You're kind of expected to sort of sit on the tower and deal with it. That's not how Fantastique plays. They fight directly into it, fighting fire with fire, and it gives the Hunter a huge lead. You're looking at a 500 gold lead, plus, like you said, a level and a half to 2 levels just plain out up for Jermain. Great ultimate out of Murrdurr, gonna grab 3. No pulls, however, chases the ultimates out of 2 players, and WorldEdit gonna have to pop his purification. Fantastique have to be aware of that.
Just have to watch out for that. And now, with that early kill onto Arkkyl, this allows Jermain to just sit in the lane, playing at that tower line, looking for the 1v1s.
Cherryo surrounded, a lot of damage. Nulisa finds the perfect hit with the unstable vortex. Wrapped around the ring is going to be Murrdurr, but no real aggression. MoGoW drops it more out of defense than offense, hops over the wall, and he'll be safe as well. Hunter duel, Jermain low, goes to the sky. Arkkyl can't do that one. 2 shots is too many, and Arkkyl falls down for the count. 6 kills to 3, make that 4, as DarkDodo answers back, smoking the jungler.
Dardez able to jump back under the safety of his tower, so at least finding a response in the mid lane, but this is really scary for Sanguine, having a Rama that's able to outbox and Anhur get to that mid to late game form. It's very scary. Once that roll gets maxed out, it's going to be an 8-second cooldown, so it's very difficult to find those kills on him.
And he's able to stack up these Devo gloves. That's the beautiful part about this. Jermain is winning these fights with 28 stacks of the Devo gloves before he even starts, you know, getting big and powerful. So kind of problematic. Cherryo engages. It's a 3-on-2 here. Sanguine on the upside. Cherryo takes out the mid lane Nulisa. Dardez gets stunned, and a couple of basics will do it, but Sanguine can't catch up. Fafnir makes his way on out. Fantastique now fighting the good fight. MoGoW gets lucky number 7. and Sanguine trying to find the exit on the left side. Big old mess there, totally.
Really good job, though, finding the ultimate, trying to get the execute, get another stack for MoGoW, but in return, MoGoW's going to drop while Murrdurr does as well.
Jermain right here is playing lights out. I mean, he's able to just win his fights over here. He's honestly playing sort of like a solo laner. He's winning these solo fights in the long lane where he belongs, and then making this rotation here, highly impacting that fight. WorldEdit gets the kill off of Jermain's player damage.
But that allows Arkkyl to come back a little bit in the laning phase. He has to sit there and try to farm, and right now this is going to try to separate that gap. 2-level lead for Jermain. If Jermain was in the long lane, he was going to be able to keep boxing out Arkkyl, maybe zone out Arkkyl, maybe get that 3-level lead.
The experience might have been, you know, still staying the same, but the gold certainly didn't. Because of the rotation, you get the extra assist onto the Ram. He stretches his 500 gold lead now to about 700. So you're you know, up 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. I guess it's just, what do you value more, the experience or the gold, Anatoly?
And it seems to me like, based off of these builds, Sanguine, they're really going for some magic defense on the side of Cherryo. He's going for Bluestone Pendant, trying to burst down Nulisa, maybe WorldEdit. They don't have that much of a tanky build right now, just now working on the Dynasty Plate Helmet for WorldEdit, and going probably for the Runic Shield, I would say. Oh, it's going to be the Arkkyl.
Yeah, the Arkkyl. We've seen this a decent amount. Newer item. Jumping on in is Dardez. We see the dual lane getting aggressive one more time. Purification chase out of Arkkyl, and that's a win for Fantastique. Jermain going to take that one to the bank and look for the play a little bit later. But yeah, as we said, the Arkkyl is an item that we've seen. It's gone up in popularity. Little interesting passive there, sort of like a AoE silence, not a stun. So a little bit like the Mantle of Discord, but more for magical players. And here's Sanguine starting with the Gold Fury. Half HP already. Dardez going to chase players off. Nulisa just hits Murrdurr with the option.
Jermain, though, he has to go into the sky just to buy some time. Hits
Nice
Arkkyl
shots.
with his second and third, very important. Not having much mana, but after that meditation, it's going to allow Jermain to stay in and contest his gold here. With Arkkyl backing, Fantastique could play aggressive here.
WorldEdit doesn't want to just yet. Sanguine going to stay here in the mid lane. And there's the aggression out of TheDarkDodo onto Dardez.
MoGoW rotating on right, trying to take advantage of the fact that Nika is still middle. Nice little pull onto WorldEdit, but the chain doesn't connect from Murrdurr. It didn't force out the purification.
And I like the play out of Nulisa as well, dropping the portal under where everybody's going to be piling onto the jungler. If WorldEdit doesn't get out, the guys from Sanguine do get CC'd, so smart play right there. However, Gold Fury one more time started up. Dardez says hello, very low, 25%. Gold Fury goes the way of Sanguine, and the fight rages on after the fact. TheDarkDodo in execute range. The jungler can't catch up, still very low. MoGoW confirms it. Dardez takes out Murrdurr. Jermain takes out Nika. It's a big old fight, and Fantastique wind up taking out 3 players, lose 0. But the Gold Fury goes away in Sanguine's favor. Tie game after all of the kills. Fantastique going to capitalize and look for 500 more, taking out the tier 1.
This is where the experience gap is going to start separating. Fantastique going to have a big spike now because they have more time to farm off of these depths from Sanguine. On top of this, you have the Odin passive that's constantly getting higher and higher. I think he got 2 or 3 stacks that last team fight. Already sitting at 3, 2, and 4, getting 5 physical power per stack.
Looking for the giant flank, or gank rather, on the left side, but Arkkyl should have enough time to back, and he certainly will.
So even though the Gold Fury was down for Sanguine, I would say heavily Fantastique got the better end of that exchange.
Absolutely.
They got the tier 1 mid tower, they got MoGoW some farm on the right, they got his stacks that he needs to, and on top of this, you're trying to transition into this late game. You have Rama, Kuang, and you have a Fafnir to synergize with those 2 gods.
Yeah, this is really the spot that you're looking for. Fantastique, I mean, with the Susano and the Isis, Fantastique sort of win the early game against all odds, right? Even Dardez and Jermain versus Murrdurr and Arkkyl, they win this lane against all odds. That's not a winning matchup, but they still come out on top because of their own play. Now, as a transition, this is really where they belong, like you said, thanks to their composition. So Fantastique, a little bit more powerful here. And the tier 1 mid tower, the earlier it goes down, the more control you have over the game in general, specifically around mid game. When you want to aggress onto objectives, whether it be the Gold Fury, Fire Giant, or otherwise, even invades into the enemy jungle, your save point, your Ali Oxenfree, it's further away. So it deters the enemy from making those plays at all just by stripping that tower.
Mid lane, though, Dodo is going to get engaged on. Dardez is going to jump in, forcing out the Isis ult. A nice Typhoon to deter.
And here comes MoGoW from the backside. side. Cherryo able to take down WorldEdit, but MoGoW just stomps down Isis inside the ring. So another point onto that passive. Nika gets stunned out. Here comes Murrdurr. Ice with the chains. Gonna grab one. Dardez, though, the ultimate out of nulisa, gonna hurt a little bit. Wonderful portal! 3 players hit by this unstable vortex, and Sanguine gonna have to turn around.
But MoGoW, though, mistimed his jump. He could have synergized off of the portal a little bit better. That would have chunked all of Sanguine away, and that could have been a power play with all those members being so low. Jermain could have split push on the left-hand side for free more than likely.
Yeah, it's rough stuff over there, but I love the way that the Fantastique have been playing. Just overall, they're very, like I said, aggressive. They're not willing to hold on to their abilities. nulisa is firing this ultimate almost every time it's up, whether it's utility or aggression.
Right-hand side, MoGoW trying to steal away the blue buff from Nika. Cherryo making the rotation. There's no jump for MoGoW. He could get turned on. There's no portal for nulisa to bail him out.
And there is the ultimate available, but everybody's going to walk on through thanks to the Phantom on the Sun Wukong. MoGoW finds himself in trouble. Didn't hit tab. That's the story of that one. Didn't realize that Sanguine had the Phantom.
Despite him not having having or not having the Phantom, stole aggression onto Dodo, forcing out the double relic. Should be another power play later on once some cooldowns reset. nulisa barely able to squeeze through that wall, going to intercept the pull. So Phantom or no Phantom there, committing to the jump onto MoGoW for that blue buff, definitely not worth it with Nika and Cherryo right around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, like, with the if there's no Phantom there, you jump, you drop the ring, and you just walk away in VEL, just like Jermain. But they got surprised by the Phantom, and because of that, he gets punished really hard.
Well, Cherryo can still go through the ring with his jet stream. It goes through it. On top of this, Nika can commit with his ultimate and then jump over that ring. So either way, Sanguine has some chase options, and I believe nulisa's ultimate was still down from that mid-engagement. And using the portal on herself didn't allow any sort of escape opportunity for MoGoW.
So that's the point where we redline a little bit. Fantastique have been very aggressive all game, pedal to the metal, but at some point you can stress the engine a little bit and cross into recklessness territory. Fantastique make the wrong play, but it seems to be one of the first wrong plays, honestly. I've loved the aggression, the tempo of this game. We haven't really seen a stop just yet. 20 kills in the game already, and we're 14.5 in, a very un-European feeling game here. Usually a much slower pace coming out from this region, but not Fantastique. Not at all.
I'm expecting Jermain to still be aggressive on the left-hand side. He has a nice little ward to spot out the rotation from Cherryo that's just now starting the red buff, but look at this, nulisa and Dardez around the corner.
And a wonderful steal comes out from Fantastique, able to take away that red buff. Again, aggression paying off, but still a tie game here, folks. Fantastique have all the momentum in the world, but nothing on the scoreboard, really.
Nothing quite yet. It's still relatively early, only 15 minutes in. It seems that Sanguine, they're grouping up in middle because they really want to find that multi-man Blink Ares ultimate. Dardez around the corner, though. He's going to look for a stun, but he misses.
And there's 3 players surrounding him, forcing into the ultimate. nulisa's going to provide a little bit of safety with an ultimate of her own. Jermain with the artillery from the left-hand side. Now MoGoW, again, stopping down the Isis. 5 kills on the Odin, 5 deaths on the Isis. Coincidence? I don't know. Fantastique collapsing on the left-hand side. WorldEdit finds the execute onto the support. A little bit of trouble for nulisa. Sanctuary going to save her life. The Sun Wukong going to give chase. Portal not up. Got to find the cooldown. Can't just yet. Finally does. And Nika gets the kill anyway. Thanks to the boost.
The tower was able to get the last hit. Really good body blocking and knock-up, though. Finding those 3 kills for 1 in favor of Fantastique. Really good job grouping up there. And now they're going to be rewarded with a Gold Fury. But look at this. Nika teleporting in the back.
He doesn't have Wrath. He doesn't have many big abilities. But Gold Fury still going to be taken 25%, even lower. Gold Fury going to go the way of... And it's stolen with the Ox form! Fantastique, drop it! JK. Fantastique, take it. My fault.
So it's going to be Sanguine now trying to recuperate from this. It's going to have to be very important for them to come back somehow. It's 16.5 minutes in. They're going to look for a kill onto WorldEdit. He doesn't have the purification.
Nah, he's gone.
And with that blink chain, he's going to be able to get that under the tower. Really good synergy between Dodo, finding the escape.
Yeah, Murrdurr able to get that kill thanks to the flames. Even with the invisibility, the flames just have a nice big old cone, so able to take that. Sanguine going to go ahead and recover from dropping that Gold Fury. I'm going to recover from calling it incorrectly, and we're going to see the team fight in the mid lane as well. Sanguine chases nulisa underneath the tower. And Dardez able to find that long-range poke. So 15-10, Fantastique in the lead thanks to their Gold Fury. 2K up or just about. And they've got a decent lead here. This is where they got to start to look towards extending that. And that's exactly what MoGoW is going to start doing. Taking out that right tier 1 tower, adds 500. But the defense in the mid lane, totally. Murrdurr gets controlled by the portal. Sanguine still here, pushing up by 3. And different members of Fantastique looking for the flank. MoGoW blinks into the mid lane, looking for the damage out of Murrdurr. nulisa gets it, and Dodo gonna get all 3 shots hit thanks to Jermain.
And this is the problem that you were talking about earlier. He doesn't have the tier 1 tower in middle for Sanguine, so they have to all figure out a better way to escape. Now Cherryo gonna get caught by that Odin cage. He misses his jet stream, and now he has nowhere to go. This ice assault is not gonna heal him.
Dardez now changes a little bit thanks to the immunity frames. MoGoW puts down Cherryo. Fantastique still very healthy, looking for the aggression. Jermain rolls forward, might be in trouble himself as he gets slowed down, to the members of Sanguine give chase, but a quick sanctuary saves him for the moment, but a quick roll away again saves him. Jermain narrowly escapes damage right there. Trouble for WorldEdit here. Can he get the turnaround kill on Arkkyl? Not just yet. And the King of the Jungle winds up with the kill and laughs the whole way through.
Fantastique are too spread out right now. MoGoW trying to find it with Dardez and Jermain, but he's too low, but he's still diving in by himself though, because the members of Sanguine, they're rather low themselves. One hit from Jermain will just doesn't find the back. I was thinking like they're going to stop the back and maybe find a kill, but instead it's going to be allowing them to still put pressure on this left side tower. We see nulisa invading the red buff, still finding something in return. I think it was overall a 2-for-2 exchange.
Always be clearing the ABCs of Smite. Fantastique certainly taking that to the head and understanding that they've got to always be going for something. I like that invade coming out of nulisa because she has the safety of Jermain and Dardez pushing up on that tower, saying, all right, these players went home, this guy's dead, and we see Murrdurr. No one's coming for you. Just take the red buff.
They're not going to commit this time with the blue buff. We saw MoGoW trying to steal it, but this time it was only against Cherryo, not Nika and Cherryo. Still has the ultimate from nulisa this time to bail him out if he gets in trouble.
The right side, however, we'll see if nulisa is going to bail him out. I don't know if she wants to do that. This is very far up for the Odin. Impale's going to miss thanks to Jermain's wiggles. And
very
here's
far
the
up
rotation
for
on the
Arkkyl,
right
though.
side. Arkkyl pops the sanctuary. He'll be safe for now. Jermain to the sky, providing the damage, providing the kill. 18 in total for Fantastique. As they all collapse on the Hunter. Left side minions are marching up. Fantastique going to look for another and final tier 1 tower.
Jermain has been so on point with all of these snipes, definitely helping him out. Nika going to get stunned out by Dardez. Nice little portal. This could be another kill, or at least forcing out his ultimate.
And it's going to force out something. It's going to force him back to the fountain. WorldEdit on the good side. Isis ultimate going to be negated thanks to the Odin ring. Shell popped. Fantastique certainly have the tools to take this fight, but Murrdurr looking to turn it around. Grabs 3, pulls 2. MoGoW in trouble. WorldEdit on the backside finds Dodo. Won't get the kill, but Jermain does get 2. Wonderful play.
4 dead already. They're still aggressing. They're trying to find the deicide, and they do get it. They're going to be able to get this tier 2 tower, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go this Phoenix with only Arkkyl being up.
Phoenix, and this is the furthest Phoenix from the Fire Giant, so certainly this is just the best Phoenix to really get. It's black and white at this point, right?
Absolutely. At this point, Jermain just shredding Phoenix. He's level 20 Rama full late game form. Even without the coerce, he was going to be able to absolutely destroy that Phoenix.
I mean, this is the Fantastique that a lot of people understood could come on paper. Now, sure, Sanguine is not necessarily a top team, but a lot of people, the performance of these teams have been relatively even. But this is the potential I think you're seeing out of Fantastique. Incredible aggression that benefits them. A lot of accuracy. I think you see a lot of accuracy. And Jermain reminding us a lot of personality and a lot of flavor, which at the end of the day, Smite's a lot of X's and O's and a lot of numbers, pluses and minuses, but I want to like the guys I'm watching too, and there's something fun about that playstyle.
Especially with Jermain, just so bold and charismatic, I would say.
That's the
just
word.
Having fun with it. He rolls in, he doesn't have Astral Arrow being procced, so he doesn't find the cripple and it doesn't allow WorldEdit to follow up, but either way, he just laughs and shrugs it off, just walks back towards Gold Fury, and now, at least Sanguine, they're going to respond probably with his tier 1 on left. It seems that
it's a free tower.
The Susano is kind of waiting for the minions, but he could really dive that before the minions get there, but now he waited too long.
Oh, that was really troublesome. No reason to wait for the minions whatsoever. WorldEdit gets the kill. That
Cherryo just waited too long. He could have committed to go in before the minions even got there and then use his passive to his advantage just to run away. He could have jet streamed inside the tower, do 2 or 3 in hands to secure that tower.
If that, man, that's a single basic attack.
1 to 2.
That's 1 to 2 basic attacks, and that tower goes down without backdoor protections. Fantastic takeout. Cherryo on the left side opens up the window for this Gold Fury again. A little bit of a ripple effect from taking that early mid tower. So important. So important for control of the map. And I love what Dardez is doing here. He's just keeping an eye. He's a mobile ward. He's keeping tabs on where the opponent is, communicating that to his team, and his team chooses the mid tower to go ahead and fight on.
Finds it very easily. We still have Cherryo just now reviving off of that silly play on the left-hand side. And now the rest of Fantastic, they're going to group up around Fire Giant with their very comfortable 12,000 gold lead.
Yeah, this Fantastic can take any fight they want. So they're going to start the Fire Giant here. Don't be surprised to see them peel if they need to, but the damage they're able to do to the objective, Sanguine they're not even here. They have to push up on the left side to be aware of those minions. The Fire Giant goes the way of Fantastic, leading by over 10,000 gold. Fantastic certainly looking for the play on the right side of the map right now. Jermain tearing through this tower pretty much completely. And finally, Cherryo gets that left-hand tower.
The last tower falling for Sanguine, grouping up towards the right-hand side. Fantastic want to get themselves a second Phoenix now. And with their late-game damage, Jermain with Fire Giant and Coerce coming out of the Fafnir should easily secure this one and can even go to mid. They don't even need to go back and shop quite yet.
Jermain has 7,000 more player damage than anyone in the game. Anyone in the game. What a wonderful game out of the Rama player. WorldEdit able to just trap Cherryo between himself and a hard place. Jermain gets the Fafnir buff and just wrecks out this Phoenix. All 3 are down. 4 players alive for Sanguine. Fantastic. Do they retreat? They've got pockets full of gold from tearing off the map. Absolutely not. Looking for the kills. Rolls forward is Jermain. He's going to tear that clone to shreds. But now looking towards the real objective, folks. Chaos Titan and the entirety of Sanguine. They're going to chase out Fantastic a little bit. But again, I really don't expect a full retreat, Toli.
Not quite yet. They're still looking for the potential poke. We could see a lot of people being caught under the ultimate of MoGoW. We see a lot of damage coming between Jermain and WorldEdit, and that's exactly what's happening.
Nice stun onto Nika. Follow-up damage out of Jermain. MoGoW here has the ultimate, rings the player in. Murrdurr in trouble, activates his ult, gonna get 1 pull. Jermain takes to the sky and drops a couple of artillery shots. Cherryo going to dodge out, but you can't dodge that one. WorldEdit gets the execute onto Murrdurr. Jermain gets knocked back, but pushes forward. Double kill for the Kuang. Jermain still pushing forward, critting all over Isis. Still, Fantastic here and strong.
They're still trying to wait for those fire minutes to get into the Titan room, making it a little bit easier. Cherryo's dead for 33, Murrdurr's dead for 23. Fantastic, they have a nice timing where they can still put pressure. But looking at the golden hand though, look at all this. 4 members over 3,000 gold. I think they're going to cut their losses now and be like, all right, we're going to win. Let's just finally spend all our gold, get these 6 items complete, and then win it out.
I love the style of this team, though. I think any other team in the SPL would have backed maybe 2 engagements ago, but Fantastic push forward, they get a kill. They push forward, they get a kill. They push forward, just trying to force it, like you said, with so much gold in the bank, not really even electing to go back home.
They were playing it pretty safe, I would say. They weren't committing under the fountain, right?
Very
they didn't
important.
go past the Titan spawn of where it is. They didn't want to commit too far, so they figured like if they can just poke in the Titan room area, maybe find 2 more picks, because Cherryo was still dead for a little bit. The way Jermain and WorldEdit picked him off on the right-hand side was just so quick. It caught Sanguine completely off guard. So now regrouping, they're going to have fully finished items. They're going to be able to still utilize that Fire Giant buff for another 50 seconds and win the first game.
Yeah, I mean, the entirety of the jungle is going to be stripped. Fantastic. Going to go ahead and group up here. We see full builds coming out pretty much from everybody. Nulisa rocking the Soul Reaver. Really looking to make that big deletion play. Do more, but Rod, Shard, Soul Reaver wants to just delete somebody with the ultimate.
Going to be 3 hits onto Dodo, and that's going to force him into the Sanctuary. WorldEdit, though, overcommitting, taking a lot of damage in return. Arkkyl, though, is going to fall with Dodo. 2-for-1 trade for Fantastique.
Just doesn't matter. WorldEdit makes a silly play. Right now, it's 2-for-1, and Fantastique in a full commit. Chaos Titan is absolutely getting smoked out. 50%. Jermain looking for the kills and getting them. One goes down. Players not looking for the Titan at all.
Look at MoGoW. He's just sitting there.
Just looking for the kills. MoGoW hanging out, watching his team do what they do. And then someone finally slaps the Chaos Titan in the face. Down it goes. And there's one win to Fantastique.
That's Fantastique style right there at the end.
Absolutely.
Just Jermain diving the fountain. MoGoW's like...
It's a little bit of, I think the word is troll, a little bit of troll going on, but at the end of the day, a
little bit of flair.
Yeah, that's what it is for me. I think there's a line, and if you see, if you see a little bit too much of that, maybe you start to get offended. But here's the deal: if I'm Fantastique and my opponent's getting offended, or let's be real, just kind of mad, you're getting
in their head. Yeah, you're getting in their head, and this is the first game for.